figured the best way to start off a study vlog is by de-stressing immediately. I can't lie, I am very nervous for this week. This is my final week of studying and prep before my CPT exam. I am freaking out just a hair, but I'm kind of looking at this as a little bit of a part of the journey because I know I'm going to be kind of nostalgic for when it's over. I won't miss the studying, but I'll miss the journey. I look like a marshmallow tube. I gotta hope that these cloudy skies are not a bad omen for me. Honestly, let's be real. I just live in Washington. We are really stripping it on down, raw and real today. So I kind of start to get like very in my head of all of the different things I can do to study. Like what are different topics I need to review? What are different sections I have to go over again? Or ways to study, like practice tests, Quizlets, things like that. So I'm gonna make a list right now of all of like the remaining things that are still lingering in my head, just so I can get it on paper because I am like processing way too stinking much up here. I think this morning I'm gonna go through like the chapter content. So then moving forward throughout the rest of the week, it's just review. This might be like a nice way to break it up, I guess, but I just kind of want to fly through the final little sections I have. So then I can actually get to like the fun stuff, which is repetition. That's a joke. These are some of the things I was coming up with. I obviously have to get through my chapters. I have these study guides that I really want to read through. I am usually like a pen and paper kind of gal, so this has been really hard for me considering everything's online, but they have these study guides that they provide for you. And I printed out as much as I could justify, so I could just like sit there and highlight and read through things and like feel it on my fingers. So I'm gonna go through these and just mark them up like crazy, write all over them. That's how I normally would study in school, and I feel like it's a really great method for me. It's also kind of a weird break. Like if I just feel like I'm tired of sitting at my desk on my computer, I'll move somewhere else with the papers or like go to a coffee shop and just kind of like step away from a screen. Definitely want to read through the appendix. That's like one thing that I think gets often overlooked. Quizlets, exams, like that's just kind of me reviewing, and my notes, of course. If I spent this much time writing in my big fat notebook and I didn't even look at it, I would be so mad at myself. And then lastly, I wrote down some concepts that I think I just need to kind of review again, or things that I've seen commonly online that appear in the test a lot, and I think I'm just gonna keep adding to this. And I saw this quote when I was looking up these concepts. It says, "Don't worry about failing, focus on learning." I think that was exactly what I needed to see today, because I've been so concerned about the test when I have said, even on camera, time and time again, that I'm doing this for my own personal betterment and my knowledge. And I know that I know material, so why do I need a test to tell me yes or no? That doesn't make any sense. But you get what I mean? Like you get so caught up in just passing a test instead of actually learning and retaining. So that is my goal. Learn, retain better, and focus on all of that more than pass or fail. But we're gonna pass. Positivity. No idea why I just set this up like Star Wars. Look at this. I was trying to find a stapler, found $55. There's like a running joke in my family that I hide money in like every backpack I've ever owned. It's not hiding, it's more like I forget it's there, I save it for a rainy day. Wait, I literally just counted it wrong. I thought I only had 2 20s. I have 3. Say hello to the richest woman in the world. $75, baby. Basically, now I'm gonna sit here with my handy dandy stack. I'm giving these to my mom, so I'm putting them out so I don't forget them, but they're in my way. There are like definitely scientific studies that support having a clean desk, clean mind. I believe in it. I literally can't focus if I have a messy desk. I'm trying to ignore this. This might need to go. Even my water, it's like making me claustrophobic. Let's go. let's talk about something that I faced every single finals season in school. And really, it was always just something lingering in the back of my mind that bothered me so much. But now, being in this state again, I finally come to terms with. And that is working out during your studies week. So in school, I would always have this like lingering thought in the back of my mind during finals week that I still had to keep up my normal fitness routine. Like I would still want to go to the gym, I would still want to go on my walks or whatever. But then you also have this like daunting feeling that you have absolutely no time to spare. The only thing that you can do with your time is work or study or go to class. Like that's the only thing that time allows for, because that's the most important thing at the time. And I would fight this literally every semester. I would get myself into like such a tiffy. I don't think that's the word. Whatever. I would get really frustrated because I need to work out to release my anxiety, but at the same time, I felt anxious if I was at the gym because I was away from my books. Do you get what I'm saying? But I kind of came to realize that I, one, was making such a big deal out of nothing. Like, it literally isn't that big of a deal. And two, no matter what, I needed that like 45-minute break to clear my mind. It's probably not even good for you to sit there and try and cram so much information into your mind in such a short period of time. But you know, like you're so hard on yourself and you think you have so many things to review, and you do. But let me tell you, like after I get in that 30-minute workout, 20-minute walk, hour-long strength training session, like whatever it is, I feel like a new woman. I can come back and sit at my desk with a renewed energy. It helps you concentrate better, and that is literally a proven fact. Look it up. It will help you sleep better, which will help you perform better on your tests. It will, of course, help with your anxiety and also just make you feel like you are more competent, confident, and able. Confident, competent, and able. And at the end of the day, exercising is always a wonderful way to just release some pent-up energy. So not always is it gonna be your best bet. Like some days you're gonna say, no, I just need to sit here and study, but I am always going to encourage you to just take those 5-10 minute breaks when you can. I remember my campus would always do like a few things during finals week to help with the students. One would be therapy dogs. Therapy dogs would come to campus and we could just go and pet them and like hang out with the dogs. And it literally was amazing. And at the back of my mind, I would always go, do I have time for this? But you do. And also like, it's just life. Like you don't have to stress out about it that much. It's not that big of a deal. And I'd come back from petting dogs and I would be in such a good mood. I would be so re-energized and I'd probably get a lot more done and retain so much more of the information. There was also this one lady who would literally all on her own bake cookies for the entire library. She would bake, I can't even tell you how many. I'm gonna say it's like 70 dozen. Something absurd. And you could go with your Tupperware or Ziploc bags, or they just had plates out and you could go and just have a shit ton of cookies. And it was so amazing. It was the one time in the library where there was so much commotion because it was cookie night and it was this infamous thing. This singular lady would do this. Like what a freaking blessed soul. You have time for the cookies, you have time for the puppies. You're gonna do great, I promise you.
And I have time to take this little puppy on a little walk, don't I? Do you like walks? Yes, you do.
If there's one thing Reese knows how to do, it's to let out some nerve. Go, Reese, go! Ah! Ah! These are my good luck pajamas. I'm in a totally good mood right now. It's very late and I probably should go to bed, but I'm debating like staying up a little bit longer and studying a little bit more. Of course, you know, that's like never the right idea. I just spent like the last hour watching YouTube videos. I'm very glossy, by the way. We're very moisturized right now. I just spent the last hour watching YouTube videos talking about people who had passed the test or things that helped them. And now I'm feeling like literally I will be so fine. Like this girl talked about how she didn't study literally whatsoever and she passed. And I'm feeling like very confused. Ugh. And then I watched this other video where this guy was bashing certifications like left and right. So now I'm feeling insecure and confused, and I can't let other people get in my brain like that. We are hours away from my test. I need to be focused. I'll worry about that shit on a different day. We're going into freak out mode. We are going into a deep dark tunnel. Feeling good. That's what I have to tell myself.
Reese, ready for bed? Let's go. Yay!
Okay, here's the thing. I obviously am like having a little moment where I was totally freaking out. I kept feeling like I needed to be studying more, doing more, but I'm taking my own advice that I was preaching to you all earlier, and I'm prioritizing what is best for me. And right now that is laying in bed with my cup of tea, reading my Kindle, which I frankly have not done in a very long time. I tried to read it the other morning to slowly wake up and, you know, not look at my phone, and I think I fell back asleep. I'm actually really excited. I'm starting the Harry Potter series. It's available on my library app, so I can rent it for free, which is incredible. And it's one of those series that I've always wanted to read, but I just never have dove into. And I want to say I've read like the first one or two, but I was probably so young, like I retained nothing, or maybe I did it for reading points, like back in elementary school. So I'm excited to just finally like read it as an adult. It's gonna be a really, hopefully, fun experience. And that's much better than staying up and taking another practice quiz like I was going to do. Isn't that right, Rishi Poo? Isn't that right? Yeah, it is. Peace out. We'll see you for my final day of studying tomorrow. Good morning, one and all. Today I woke up, it's extraordinarily early for me. I woke up at 6 and I just haven't been able to fall back asleep, so I'm just gonna get started on my day. Otherwise, you know, like when you go back to sleep and you feel like you're getting more rest, but then you wake up feeling groggier, don't want that to happen. I wish I could reschedule my test for today. I'm actually gonna try, to be honest with you. I want it over with. I'm so tired of like thinking about this for months. And I think the truth of the matter is I've prepared as much as I can. I know as much as I probably will know, and the rest of it will just be me cramming. I guess if I can't change it, I'll just make the most of today, relax, kind of recharge, make sure I'm feeling good, watch Survivor. And I'm kind of in this like denial phase where I'm thinking like, was any of this worth it? I know I learned a lot, but I still feel like there's so much to learn. And I think that says a lot about the program, maybe also just my love for learning and wanting to continue that. And I think it will be cool to be certified, but I don't think that means like that is the end all be all of knowledge and education in the fitness space. In fact, that's definitely not true. Times like this make me wish I majored in kinesiology or exercise science or something. I don't think I realized at the time that that was something I probably should have pursued. And I think, to be honest with you, I was probably scared to go down that route because I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to be bad, which is so silly. I'm actually charging my iPad right now. I'm gonna take this with me to the gym. I want to do a practice test, but I'm gonna take it while I'm walking on the treadmill. I think I need to like get out some energy while I'm doing this. And sometimes that allows your brain to think better, or at least in my case, that's what helps me concentrate better. I'm just like distracting myself. I don't know. Usually it takes me anywhere from like 40 to 45 minutes. It's 100 questions. So I might get really tired of walking. We'll see.
Ozzy at the same time. And sure enough, they both vote for Sophie.
This is what I do in my spare time. I watch Survivor analysis videos. The obsession is beyond at this point. I'm learning about how the mayor of Survivor decides the winner, or do they? I didn't even know what the mayor was, but it's the first person that's voted out that gets to the tribal, and they have like all of this influence over the jury and how they vote because they have the most amount of time with them. I think what he said was that they're only, what am I trying to say? The mayors have an 86% correct voting rate. They vote for the winner 86% of the time. I feel like that's pretty impressive. Does any of this matter or pertain to the video topic? No. And this video is sponsored by Casetify. Get it. Stretch. I own this book, so I can write in it, but I've never been able to write in a textbook all my life. So it still feels wrong. Like we're literally ingrained to never touch a textbook. Of course, I'm mentioning this after I already ate my dinner because I forgot to film it. Professional. But I'm gonna take on like Taylor teacher mode for a second and pretend like we're going back to elementary school. When our teachers would teach us this, and I for one like didn't take it as seriously as I should have, but that is the power of making sure you are getting enough food and fuel the night before your exams and tomorrow morning. Oh, I love that so much. I would always remember like my teachers, especially when I was little, telling us that. And like you kind of take it seriously, but at the same time, like you don't realize how important it is. And it just makes such a stinking difference. Like our brains need fuel to work properly, and we want to make sure that we are at our best. And honestly, my test is in 13 hours. It's like almost 10 p.m. right now. I'm gonna study for maybe an hour and a half, just going over some topics that maybe need to be refreshed in my brain, but then I'm gonna call it a night because that is how I need to unwind. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna read my Harry Potter. I'm going to go to bed at a decent time so I can wake up nice and early, like make sure I have as much covered in the morning as I want to, like if there's anything I want to review, getting my food in, just feeling up and ready. I don't want to jeopardize any of that by staying up late and trying to cram, which is something I am only learning now. Like I'm not standing on some pedestal here, promise. I just can't believe it's finally happening! It's always a good time when. Supposed to sing back to me. What is considered a normal blood pressure?
60/40.
No! Try doubling those numbers.
120/80.
Yeah, less than. 80/40 would probably be like scary low. Like I don't even know if that's a thing. What the elf? Okie dokie, we are officially tapping out for the night. I'm grabbing my tea and I'm going to bed. I will see you in the morning, day of the test. I'm so stinking nervous. I'm gonna go read Harry Potter, calm the heck down. We've got this. Confident, competent, and able, baby! I literally just put on my lucky PJ set. I was thinking like, do I need to dress the part? Do I need to dress up, like dress to impress? Like, you know, like you get your mind to that mode. But I don't care, like, this is my lucky pajama set. I wanna wear it. I feel confident in it and I'm gonna be cozy and ready, and I've been studying in this, so maybe it's like a little psychological thing too. So I'm telling myself as an excuse to wear pajamas. I am getting ready, just a hair though, so I feel very pretty. I'll cover up my stress acne so the proctor doesn't laugh at me. I feel like I'm actually more scared for the proctor than I am for the exam because I just don't want somebody staring at me the entire time. And I've never done an online exam like this. As long as they don't just like make eye contact with me the entire time, I think we'll be okay. But whatever, they're there to do their job. I'm there to do mine. I have basically about an hour and a half before the exam, but I want to be studying for some of that, but I don't want to like, I don't know, confuse my brain or get myself all stressed out. So I'm gonna study for a teeny bit while I'm having my breakfast, coffee, and then like say a prayer. I'm getting such immense flashbacks to college and studying, and I'm like kind of spiraling. My test is in 30 minutes. I'm getting like the nervous jitters, trying not to like have too much coffee, although I want it, and just focusing on breathing and not getting nervous. From a reach, so she ran away in a sleep. But I have to be taking the test at 20.
That's in 13 minutes.
I have to de-stress. Underactive abs, overactive hip flexors, lumbar extensors, rhomboids, posterior delts, rotator cuff. Okay, here's my exam. I am sitting down, about to log in. I need to go pee, calm the heck down. I was thinking like, how could I film my reaction? Because I'm pretty sure I learned right away, but I'm too nervous. Like, I'm not gonna risk failing an exam to get it on a YouTube video. I will turn on my camera when I'm finished. I will let you know what happens. I'm so stinking nervous, but even if you fail, it does not matter because I'm confident that I've learned so much through this course. I'm proud of myself and I can always retake it. I love you all. Thank you for supporting me through this journey. I'm freaking out, so I need to go. I love you. I'll see you on the other side. Oh my God. I passed. I burst into tears, to be honest with you. It tells you right away. I had to wait for my proctor to like let me submit the exam. I was kind of confused, like it didn't like throw out confetti or like shout out surprise or congrats or whatever. Like I had to kind of read for it and then all of a sudden it just says passed in like little tiny font. And I was like, oh my God, does that mean it worked? Like I did it? And then my proctor was like, oh my gosh, congratulations. So nice. And I like kind of like was freaking out, but also like still in the middle of the proctoring thing. So like trying not to happy cry. Then I finished that all up, started happy crying. Keith left while I was in the middle of my exam because I had to have the place to myself or like this room to myself. So he and Reese were basically like waiting in the car for me. So I ran out and I went to the car and I was like, I did it! Somehow! I'm back! The whole experience was so nerve-wracking. First of all, go figure, I had to pee the entire time. So that was horrifying. Story of my life. Literally, he said to me, you are not allowed to go to the restroom for the entire sitting of the exam. Do you wanna go now? And I'm like, don't even worry, I just went, we're good to go. 4 minutes later, what did I have to do? But the proctoring itself took probably like 20 minutes to get set up. I was so beyond nervous because I thought I had it all figured out beforehand. Like I, went through the proper accessibility on the computer and made sure things like had permissions, like where they can record your screen and listen to your talk. But apparently, like not everything was set up. And like it kept having me relaunch Google Chrome and I'm like, but I'm in the middle. Like what if I'm not allowed to log back in? Thank goodness it still allows for that. Probably like, are other people who are ignorant like me. So once I got through that, like I got hooked up with my little proctor. He was the best. He was so kind and like gentle, especially when I was freaking out, but super helpful. They were so meticulous on checking to make sure I wasn't cheating or anything. They made me roll down my sleeves. He checked my forearms. I held up my ID to verify who I was, my CPR certification. I had to like basically show a mirror because I use a desktop. So I had to show a mirror to reflect that there were no notes taped to any of the sides of my computer screen. And it was really hard for him to see. So he's like, okay, get out your phone, take a video of your entire desk, your setup, your computer screen underneath the desk in every 4 corners of the room. I mean, I totally get it, but like, we were marking every box, So by the time that was finished, that was probably like a good 25 minutes. So I was scheduled to take the test at 10:20 and I didn't start until I think 10:40. And by then, again, had to pee. So I'm getting into the test and all of a sudden, like I obviously can't go into specifics about what the questions were, but overall, I was like pretty kind of like confused and a little bit frustrated because I've read the textbook front to back. And not saying that like means I know everything, but I felt like I had a really good gist of everything that was taught to me. And I kind of feel like the questions weren't even things that were like kind of taught. It was more like, okay, you learned this concept, now let's ask you about it in a way that you've never been introduced to before. And I felt like I kept seeing online that that was the case, like this exam was totally different from the practice exams. But like you still gotta hold out hope. Like, and I was taking so many practice exams and I don't know, I definitely think that helped me out, but in the end, there were so many questions that I did have to bookmark and just kind of like wing it on. I do know that the exam has like 20 beta questions in it. So 20 of them like don't even count to my score. So I was like half banking that some of the ones I didn't know would just be the beta questions. And I think in a good way and a bad way, you don't actually know what score you got. I think if I knew, like let's just say I only passed by like one question, I think that would bother me more. But maybe like the ambiguity of just not knowing and knowing whatever I did was good enough to make me pass is what I'm sticking with. Perfect day, nothing standing in my way. It's not seeing my name up on that list. Don't stop me now. Oh, there's no stopping me. Call me Mr. Fahrenheit.
Homeboys hanging out, all that ass hanging out. Bikinis, martinis, the weenies, the king and her queenie.
Don't make fun of my nerdy glasses. These are Keith's. I want to go and touch the moon. You make me feel so young. A wonderful spring to be sprung. I'm so proud. I feel so extraordinarily lucky. Thank you for supporting me on this year-long journey, which it never intended to be. And now I can finally stop talking about how much I'm studying and bothering the heck out of all of you. So thank you for sticking with me. I love you so much. You're so amazing, and I literally couldn't do this without you. So thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you.
Thank you for watching my video. I'm a CPT now. I'm asleep now.